I'm going to sit here and wait for someone to call me. And hopefully we can discuss whether gods are even possible a little bit. Because I don't think gods are possible even a little bit. Like even slightly at all. So sorry I'm late. I was watching this new thing. So I'm going to put the phone number up here on the screen. So if you feel like calling, you can call. Boom. All right. So I'm gonna keep watching the thing that I was watching, and I'm not gonna violate their broadcast. But if someone calls, we're gonna do this. We'll see if someone calls. I'd like it if someone called, but we all know that all theists are liars. I'm not even incredibly educated on the Bible per se. I don't know. All right. Is get it. I'm currently watching The Daily Atheist. They're fun. Frank. Hey, there's that guy again. Kind of weird. I'm back. I think probably, maybe. We'll have to check. Yeah, it says I'm live here, so I'm waiting for. I'm back. I think probably, maybe. We'll have to check. Yeah, it says I'm. See if someone calls. Here. I'm waiting for. I'm gonna wait to see myself. See how far behind I am. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, we're live. Hello. Thanks for joining me. Gods are not real. And if you disagree, I'm not gonna just berate you and say you're dumb. I would like to talk about it myself. Show me that gods are even slightly possible. Yeah, we're live. Hello. Thanks for joining me. Gods are not real. And if you disagree, I'm not gonna just berate you and say you're dumb. I would like to talk about it myself. Show me that gods are even slightly possible. Hello. Thanks for joining me. Gods are not real. And if you disagree, I'm not going to just berate you and say you're dumb. I would like to talk about it. Show me that gods are even slightly possible. We're set up to receive calls. If you believe that gods are even slightly possible, feel free to dial the number on the screen and make your argument. I'm currently watching the Daily Atheist. That gods are even slightly possible. Pretty good. These guys are having fun. Dial the number on the screen and make your argument. I'm currently watching the Daily Atheist. Pretty good. These guys are having fun. Dial the number on the screen and make your argument. I'm currently watching the Daily Atheist. Pretty good. These guys are having fun. I got a lot of comments on like everything I posted about God this and Bible that, and so this is your time to shine, folks. If you really are able to defend your beliefs if they uphold the scrutiny, if you happen to know that not only are gods possible but definitely real, uh, and we could start there if you want. But I don't believe that gods are even possible in the slightest. Defend your beliefs if they uphold. That's an argument from incredulity, but also based on how we know things to work so far. Definitely real. Like I could create a clone right now, and I wouldn't be God. What like so? Yeah, we'll have to talk about what gods are, and if you're into that, give the number you see on the screen a call. How we know things to work so far. I hope I'm not like peeking out. I'm not even watching that at all. I'm way into what these people are doing and having fun. And I wouldn't be God. What like so? Yeah, we'll have to talk about what gods are, and if you're into that, give the number you see on the screen a call. I hope I'm not like peeking out. I'm not even watching that at all. I'm way into what these people are doing and having fun. And I wouldn't be God. What like so? Yeah, we'll have to talk about what gods are, and if you're into that, give the number you see on the screen a call. I don't got no smoke for the boy. I'm telling you. I don't got no smoke for the boy. I'm telling you. I don't got no smoke for the boy. I'm telling you. I don't think anyone's gonna call, man. But we'll see if I keep the lines are open for anyone who thinks that gods are possible. Just just go ahead and Go ahead and let me know how. I don't think anyone's gonna call, man. But we'll see if I keep the lines are open for anyone who thinks that gods are possible. Just just go ahead and let me know how. Or if you just want to talk, you could call too. Yeah, we'll kill some time until someone else calls. Probably have some kind of fun, figure something out. Or if you just want to talk, you could call too. Yeah, we'll kill some time until someone else calls. Probably have some kind of fun, figure something out. Or if you just want to. Oh. Well, you're about to get my full attention because they're wrapping their show up. I need a goat. Well, you're about to get my full attention because they're wrapping their show up. I need a goat. Well, you're about to get my full attention because they're wrapping their show up. So, yeah, they're gonna be wrapping up their show. So I'm gonna have to give you my full attention, which means somebody got to call and defend. Come on, you got to defend this stuff. Don't let me just win the argument by default. That'd be crazy, right? So, yeah, they're gonna three people watching, so I'm gonna have to and give my full attention, which means so I'm just I don't know. Nobody's calling. You gotta defend this stuff. Don't let me just win the argument by default. That'd be crazy, right? Chris has made many comments. So who is Chris? I don't know. So I'm just I don't know. I don't see. Oh. Yeah. How it going? Chris has made many comments. So who is Chris? I don't know. I don't see. Oh. All right. So they ended their show, and I'm just I don't know. I'm waiting for someone to try to call and make the argument that gods are possible. Even I figure it's a great place to start, and I don't know. I don't think gods are possible even a little bit with what we know about how the world works through observation and testing. Make the argument that gods are possible. I've never observed God's godly behavior or anything of the nature. So I don't think gods are possible. Maybe you have, and you have a convincing story and personality, and you wanna tell me how to get there. I'm here for that. Who's this? Who are these? Oh, hello, folks. It's good to see you. Thanks for joining me. I'm waiting for anyone to call and try to argue that gods are even possible. So I need subscribers so I can make money. I don't currently have any work. I do graphic design if you're looking for that. I don't have any of my graphics up on the screen. This is all just default OBS text. Because I'm also new to the OBS thing. Not used to talking into a camera with. I'm used to talking to an audience with people, and this is, I don't know, I get no feedback. But thanks for joining me. Appreciate having you here. Where are you guys from in the world? I'm also new to the OBS thing. Not used to talking into a camera. Yeah, no, this guy, I know it's right. It's so I got the number here in case someone calls. I will answer. And I did really enjoy the Daily Atheist show. That was so much fun. Ohio. Sorry to hear it. Yeah. Yeah, no, this guy, I know it's right. I'm from Woonsocket, Rhode Island, and when I didn't know how many people were just itching to. That was so much fun. Yeah, but that's a different broadcast where we talk about politics. Today, I would like to talk about the possibilities of any kind of God at all. Zeus, you know, Odin's got the best case so far because there's no ice giants, I think. I've been hearing about this guy, Doug. He sounds pretty reasonable and believable. So, hello, Dennis, Germany. Oh, yeah, we're almost there ourselves here in America. We're well on our way. I think I've been hearing about this guy, Doug. He sounds pretty reasonable. In a few years, we'll be over in Europe. You guys will all be speaking broken American. Hello, Dennis, Germany. Oh, it's already a broken language. There ourselves here in America. Well on our way. I have never left the country. I've been places in America personally, but I've never left the country. I don't know if I'm allowed to, but it's never been needed, so I wouldn't know. Yeah, I've never had a passport or anything like that. I would go to Germany. I've heard great things about just everything, the people, the scenery. I would definitely like to visit Germany. Heard great stuff. So I wouldn't know. The one thing my hometown is famous for is we're the home of CVS, which is, I think, the world's biggest drug dealer. So, good job, Woonsocket. I would definitely like to visit Germany. Heard great stuff. If you guys are interested in knowing me a little better, if you go on my actual videos, the full-length videos, and you sort by popularity, I have actual stand-up that I've done on there. And I would definitely recommend checking that stuff out. If someone calls, though, this is going to be productive, I hope. Because, you know, people who believe in gods are very productive people. They love. Yeah. So I'm hoping for any of them to. There's apparently, they think that they're like half the planet. They think that one faith or another encompasses half the planet, and I don't think that's even true. I think the default state is as a baby. I think we're born atheists, and then, you know, society and parents filled babies' heads with garbage, and I got lucky enough to have a dad that was like, listen, I'm not going to teach you a whole lot of stuff that's worth knowing, but there's no God. Don't let them do that to you. And I was like, all right. And little did I know, I thought the default, I really thought most people were reasonable. And I grew up to learn otherwise. And it surprised me. Yeah. I did not deconvert. I don't have as intimate knowledge of the whole, but I did grow up in New England, where we have Catholic guilt imposed on us by society, and it's not a great place to avoid the idea of God. But then again, it goes for all of America now. We're figuring it out that a lot of people are deluded and weird. They want to live fantasy lives. Are you playing the stream in the background, or am I crazy and hearing things? I don't think I am. God. But then again, it goes for all of that. Might just be. I got my microphone wet, and so I don't. It might be broken. Are deluded and weird. Yeah, like that makes sense to me. And it just, I don't know. And I understand that people get into communities because they want friends. And I saw it with comedy, where they're not even there to do comedy. They're there to make friends and repeat jokes that they saw on TV or something. But I don't know. I always felt like an actual comedian who was there to make people laugh, and I didn't see a whole lot of that. But then and then in the comedy scene, even you see the grips that religion holds on people there, where you're not even allowed to perform. Some people won't come and see you if they know that you don't believe they're saying nonsense, and it's, oh well, why would I support a demon? Like, well, I'm not a demon. So yeah, that's the Catholics for you. They think everything's a demon. But that's also the Baptist. Everything's the devil when you're a Baptist, and when you're a Catholic, everything's a demon. And there's demonic possession and exorcisms, and I thought this was stuff that existed only in the movies, and I didn't know that people were fully committed. Yeah, right. Yeah, it's weird. Thanks for joining me, though. I'm trying to build up a subscriber count so that I can make money. I'm trying to also try to bring people to reason and rationality. It's not going to be an easy fight. I've seen other people try to do it. But also demonstrate. I would also like to demonstrate that all theists are delusional and hypocritical, and typically very angry and vile people that would not coincide with what they represent to be thinking they're doing with a message of love and peace. And it's like, I've not seen love or peace from you people even a little bit. It's like, well, you got to accept Jesus first, and it's like, that's weird. And then they go around, they call. So I've been finding people on YouTube that like to call everything else a cult. And it's like, no, you're in a cult. Where they call leftism a cult, MAGA's a cult, and everything's a cult but them. It's like, I don't think you know what a cult is. That's weird. And then they go around, they call. So I've been finding people. Yeah, the Bible's ridiculous, and it's not just the Bible. All of them are. I gotta say this, in the interest of fairness, that I've never had a Jewish person tell me what I can or can't say, or try to ridicule me, or they seem like they're in on the jokes somewhat. And I've never had a Muslim person deny me food. I've been homeless since I was 17, and I've never had a Muslim person or a person of Islam deny me food. And I think that's pretty cool of those particular groups. But that I've seen nothing but animosity from Christians towards anyone who's not part of their church, basically. And there's like a secret war between the LDS and the Catholics, and it's kind of weird that they do these things. And then the Jehovah's Witnesses are goofy. Like, I knew this Jehovah's Witness kid when I was in high school, and I really liked him and everything, and I found out he was a Jehovah's Witness because I got stuck outside a girl's house, and him and his dad were door knocking at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, well, this is weird. He's like, yeah, this is what we do. And no, people weren't very nice to Craig, and I was the only one that was like kind of like decent with him. And I really liked him and everything. Craig's a good guy. He was a Jehovah's Witness. But the stuff that they believe, Ryan is an ex. Yeah, I heard her mention that, and it's tough because they're typically very abusive. I've noticed that a lot of a lot of religious people just want to impose violence on children, and so they go that route. And they're like, look, in the Bible it says you're supposed to hit the kids. It's discipline. And I'm like, that the whole underlying thing I would like to get across is that you're not supposed to hit kids. Like, you shouldn't inflict violence on children. And they're like, oh, but a little smack here and there is violence on children, and you should probably not do it. And that's what I want to get across. And they want a reason, and that when then you can't get a better reason than divine, divinity. But the Jehovah's Witnesses. I watch Owen sometimes. He's an ex Jehovah's Witness, and it's just I've seen some of the propaganda that they put out, and it's not good. That they like I get having your values and trying to embody your values, and you're like, I want to present as a man and have a family, and it's like, okay, well, do that then. But I want everyone else that I think is a man to act like what I think a man should act like. And like, dude, that's kind of gay. You're getting pretty gay on me. It's like, well, what are you doing with your dick later? Are you touching a man with it? Because if so, I gotta know. And it's like, hey, I see you're getting really freaking gay on me, man. I wish you would stop asking me about what I'm doing with my penis. But yeah, it's tough to. These people, they're weird. That's kind of gay. You're getting pretty gay on me. Like, well, what are you doing with your dick? I've heard a lot of believers say some wild stuff, like it doesn't matter if God kills innocent animals. It's more right. And that stuff makes me sick to my stomach. And then, yeah, what else it goes into beyond the violence that they inflict on children, and yeah, the people who commit these acts don't actually ever see consequences. They get transferred to a different church, and it reinforces it. I think victims should speak out always, because secrecy just promotes these problems in our society. It just keeps it going. Silence is always the tool of the abuser. And so I don't think anyone should ever just stay quiet. I'm gonna try to switch my headphones over to these ones. Should speak out always, because secrecy. I do hear it twice. These problems in our society. Oh, that's why you're hearing it twice. Okay, so I gotta turn, but I gotta hear myself. So. Well, now you're only going to hear me once, and it's like super loud, so I don't think it needs to be. All right. No, I get that it's not that easy, especially when it's somebody close to you and they're enraptured in your life. It, yeah, no, I know, I understand that, but I the more safe people and avenues there are for victims, then the better. And so I'd like to be an avenue for these people to escape abuse, if possible. If there's any abuse victims out there that don't really feel comfortable talking, if you're trapped in some religious cult stuff, you can call. I would suggest anonymously calling someone else that's more immediate. But if you ever, you can call, and I'll keep you anonymous. I'll even mute you so you don't have to broadcast what you do, anything, and I'll cut the live stream off, and I'll talk to you privately, or whatever you want to do. Yeah. So, because it's tough to find somebody that you to talk to about that kind of stuff. So I'm here for that too. I'm not just here to be a dickhead to people who delude themselves. I'd like to help victims if that's at all what's going on. So feel free to reach out. Yeah, and that's part of the thing about comedy is I'll do certain jokes that you definitely, you got to be artful of how you deliver them, and But this stuff needs to be talked about in society, not promoted, not glorified, obviously, but you need to, because the violence against women is a huge problem everywhere, and anyone who thinks it is, um, yeah, that's a so. But then there's a lot that goes into that. Yeah, I agree. And laughter is the best thing for your cardio. It's actually, if a good hearty laugh is better than a run. I think it might not be true anymore, but that's the last I heard about it. If you get a good hearty laugh going, you'll work your heart and blood vessels out really well without any damage to the knees. See this? I don't know how loud I'm being now, but there's probably not an echo because you were correct. I did have the stream on, but I didn't have. I looked at the phone. I was like, it's not on the phone, but yeah, I did have it repeating. But I also have the live monitor. But it's yeah. I don't know. I'm figuring this out as I go. I'm not used to all this. All those the ever elusive happy chemicals, right? And then we're creatures of habit and patterns, and the more you laugh, the more laughter you find, and you just feel better all the time. Absolutely. But I got a cat just going crazy right now. Super cute. Uh, but you also have to be something I learned is that I was underselling and undervaluing myself throughout most of my life, and I wasn't. So I don't give it away for free. Like if I spend time writing the if I come up with something on the fly, obviously I'm gonna say it. But if I have a bit or something I'm writing, or an idea that I want, I'm not one of the comedians that needs to be seen, that needs attention all the time for being funny. Um, but yeah, people think people think that when you behave in a certain way, they're like, oh, you do it for attention. It's like, yeah, and so it all ties in, kind of, to a degree. Yes, I make horrible jokes for attention to these horrible things that exist in our society, and so they're like, oh, that's repulsive, and I'm like, yeah, I agree. that's that's why we need to. I would rather be joking about other stuff, honestly, but this is what's happening in the world, and it needs to be addressed, you know. And I'm one man, so what can I do besides speak? Oh yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that. Yeah, I had a lot of fun watching them. They're great. Both of I like uh and I love unique laughs. uh I tend to like open mics and stuff. I'll over laugh at everything because it's just joyous, and I mean I like. Uh, yep, it's I mean it's kind of tough being a terrorist and a comedian. It's very demanding, but it's you got to do what's with what you got to work with what's given to you, you know. Yeah, stuff is it's kind of ridiculous, and if you don't laugh at it, it'll kill you. Is what I've heard anyway. But what do I know? Good cat. I don't think anyone's gonna call. I don't know. I see other people pull this stuff up, but they have way more subscribers than I do, and so I'm trying everything. I'm trying the shotgun approach. I'm trying to get people over to subscribe so that I can eventually make money doing what I love, which is talking to people and connected. That's another lost art form today. Is people don't really connect with each other like they should. You know, they just stay strangers on the internet. I appreciate that, Rainbow Ash. I really do. I'd hopefully building something big here someday. Um, I was not invited to the Riyadh Comedy Festival, and I'm not sure. I know that the position is you should decline that, but I think taking money from the Saudis to tell jokes about how women should be allowed to speak and drive cars and dance would be would be a phenomenal opportunity. I would have a difficult time walking away from, because and then, it doesn't matter if they beheaded me for I that'd be like peak comedy right there, honestly. Isn't that what we all strive for as comedians? we is for the for the establishment, that's the point, is to show that we're allowed to say things and joke. Yep. No, yeah, I agree. I mean, like a huge badge of honor when I got labeled a terrorist. Yeah, you can only do that once, but it's a good one. It's a strong finisher. Is It really gets the point across, And one of the another I don't know another since we're on to politics, and I think the theists are scared of me because they know that there's no such possibility as a god. Is the, everybody it's the I understand the sentiment behind the Free Palestine movement, but I think that beheading blasphemers and not allowing people to dance should be addressed also. Like that should be a part of the Free Palestine package, I think. For the for starters, just let women, drive. Maybe dancing is legal, and not being of the faith shouldn't end with your life. That's Yeah, we are all anyone who is currently anybody who is an atheist or critical of traditional values is a terrorist now. According and anyone who thinks fascism's probably not the best form of government is also a terrorist. So I don't know. I click it 3 times. I check the box 3 times, and as you can see, I'm spreading fear and terror through the community and world to get my desires met. That's the Well, I mean, there was one guy on Facebook that said I did 9/11. That was my cover photo for a while there, because that was people are ridiculous. Well, I try to only eat babies and homeless people. You know, uh, they're the easiest to get a hold of, and they're usually pretty tender. So this freaking cat. I like her. She's a good cat. Yeah, yeah, right. And that's another thing that's wrong with the personally, is that people just believe too much nonsense, And once you can convince a man of God, you can convince them of anything. That's one of the things, one of the premises I try to touch on all the time is what if you have a topic where you talk about. I'm not a very prepared individual when it comes to this. This is a thing I'm kind of throwing together due to desperate circumstances that I am unable to remedy on my own. I have a I have a felony warrant for assault on a police officer in possession of a stolen motor vehicle, but I had to travel outside of the state because I was rendered homeless and the outside was going to kill me. So I had to go somewhere warmer so I didn't die. And then now I don't have the funds to go back and present myself in court, despite having already signed the paperwork to reduce the felony assault to a misdemeanor and dismiss the possession of a stolen motor vehicle charge for not returning a rental on time. So I'm in a bit of a pickle, and so because of the warrants, it's difficult to find work. I lost my physical license. I'm lucky enough to have people that let me stay with them because I'm not a completely unreasonable dickhead all the time. But yeah, so I don't know. It's a difficult process to work through. I left home at 17 to avoid neglect and abuse, and I went to college at 19 to study computer networking. I had a baby at 25, and when I was home, how old would I have been then? 23, I believe. Yeah, 23. When I was 23, a guy that I was staying with got into a fight with my buddy, and my buddy was blue in the face, and the other guy was had him in a chokehold, and I had been drinking. We'd all been drinking, and I picked up a knife to intimidate him to tell him to let go of my friend. So now I'm a felon. I did stab him 3 times. But so now I'm a felon for saving someone's life, and that's a weird situation because if I had called the cops or EMT, it would have taken them more time to get there than this man has left to live. And so and the judge agreed. I got probation for that, but it ruined a lot of opportunities for me. Because I had just finished my degree, 3.8 GPA in computer networking. It's an associate's degree. But when you're a felon, you're not going to get the corporate gigs that are available, and gig work through apps didn't show up until much later. So I got into comedy because to try to cover the bills, and I was doing quite well with that until COVID happened, and that took out any live shows. And I'm not the kind. Again, I'm not going to join a Zoom call with other comedians. That's just, I don't know. It seems silly to me. And those are the comedians that just need attention. And it's like I've never been the comedian that needs attention. Yeah, yeah. It's been a life. It's been a ride. It's wild stuff. And so, I am not avoiding justice. It's just that I know that if you present yourself to the courtroom rather than get dragged in by the police, things go better typically. And I already signed the paperwork, so it shouldn't even. Yeah, it's been a life. So and once you're on police radar, they'll do it. They'll make your life hell for anything, and they think typically that's another thing is I don't think that people who have faith in nonsense like gods should be allowed to be police because they go to churches and they collaborate against you, and then you're a paranoid schizophrenic because you know that these people are going to churches and talking about you, and you're a little demon, little troublemaker. Yeah, Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, it didn't really ruin my life. Um, Weird thing about that, the guy's life who I saved, I ended up having a baby with his girlfriend a few years down the road. Like, not him. But he, after that whole incident, he stopped. After that whole incident, he stopped talking to me anyway. He wasn't going to go to court and tell the story of what happened. So I had to argue. I have no money. I've never had any money. I couldn't afford a lawyer or a public defender. I don't like to bother people. So I just ended up taking and my daughter was about to be born. So they had me by the balls. They knew what was going on. And so the only way I could get out of jail, not prison but jail, to see my daughter be born was to plead out to the felony that I think I could have beaten in front of a jury, if with the cooperation of the person whose life I saved at least. And that's what I think. But they bully you, man. It's especially if you, and I allow it. Like I said, I'm not I love confrontation, right? But I like fair and equal confrontation. I don't like getting hit with a baton, or tased, or maced because I said something that you don't like. That's people. I've been punched in the face too many times for just saying things people don't like, and I don't. So we did. So I like to start, with let's not do violence to kids. Let's not inflict violence on children. Let's not let them even know that that's an option. So that way maybe we can have a better future together without violence. It starts there. It starts in the home. It starts with the kids. That's what we need to do as a society. And a lot of these people who like to hurt children end up in religious institutions, they're so controlling and weird. Yeah. And and another thing is this happened 15 years ago, and it it weighs on me heavy. Like I get that there were other options to handle the situation. Like I could have forced overwhelmed them with force rather than used a knife, but I thought I was doing an intimidation thing. I figured that would be, yeah. It's so, because I still feel like I did the right thing. Sometimes people would be like, "Oh, you don't got no remorse." And I'm like, I don't think you know what remorse is. I don't think I don't think you've ever felt bad for anything you've done. To sit there and inflict that on me, that's a weird thing. Oh. Don't know. You sure don't. If Yeah, well, uh, my environment and being a man, you are subjected to. I get bullied at school, and the kids would jump me, and then I'd go home. My dad would hit me because I didn't fight back. So eventually, I started fighting back. I talked about it in another video before, but that's I never wanted to. I never wanted to. I hate it. When I was in group homes, I got put in group homes because of the violence my dad inflicted on me, and I'd get in a fight. I remember specifically one time, this kid Dennis. I had just moved into a new uh, house and room, and this guy, he got all lay down the law with the new guy, and he came at me, and I hurt him bad, and I just cried because I don't like to do that, but I don't know why people, they're like, I'm gonna raise a tough little kid. Why would you want your kid to be tough? Well, because it's a tough world. Yeah, because people keep making all these tough kids. They got nothing to take it out on. They got all this toughness. They're like, oh, I'm a tough little guy. Oh, how strong I am. It's like, yeah, I don't. Okay, very strong, tough guy. But they're always they're always the most offended by every. It's, I'm such a strong, tough guy. You better do what I tell you and not speak any way that I don't like. And then they start calling you homophobic slurs because of all the gay stuff they've imagined doing with you. It always blew my mind is they'll offend they'll violate a whole nother human being with like a mop thing and then call them homophobic slurs, and it's like I don't think these words work the way you think they do, bud. Yeah, yeah. See, I had to learn empathy all on my own. My dad raised me by himself, and he wanted me to be a racist knucklehead just like him, and that was not gonna happen. So I had to learn empathy on my own, or not like learn it. I had to foster it within myself on my own. Would be a bit because I always had empathy. I don't. I didn't, yeah. I could always try to under. I could always understand. And that's another thing is people who think they understand empathy. They're like, yeah, I could totally understand. It's like, well, no, you can't ever totally understand someone else's perspective, but what you can, yeah, I think you understand empathy. So I don't. Maybe someone's watching that doesn't, and it's not necessarily. But that's people are weird. Other people aren't my problem, but gods are not possible. People are possible, and gods are not. If you have anything you'd like to input on such a groundbreaking discovery, please feel free to call the number on the screen and chime in. We're waiting for you. We're here. If this was a radio station, I'd probably play some music in between, but I don't have the legal right to do that apparently. And I don't have. I've never learned to play a guitar. I would like to learn to play a guitar at some point. Right. Yeah, you don't. There's and the thing about being having empathy is it doesn't mean it's always on. I'm sometimes I want to have fun and not give a fuck about what anybody's doing. That's a, you know. But then it always ends up me. I have to snap back to reality and be the responsible person and take. I'm the one who has to take accountability all the time, and it's like gets frustrating and it's almost always I am not an aggressive individual. It's people will hit me first and I'll hit them better and then I'm the bad guy. That's how and because I can't afford a lawyer, it's just how it ends up being. So and and then people are vicious and cruel once they got you by the balls a little bit or once they realize that they can perturb you, they're going to go around and whisper with all their friends and because it makes them feel cool that they think you're bad despite not ever actually having a personal experience with you or just based off of what someone else said, and it just goes on like that, and that's why lies spread faster than the truth. Yeah, they're theists are always dishonest and hypocritical 100% of the time. But I'm trying to also do something slightly different with my little clickbait title too. Is I see that all the time. The thieves are dishonest. Call in, and so I'm trying to do it slightly a little different. I see gods are imaginable, or gods are imaginary. I see that all the time, so I didn't want to do that either. But like a good foundation is, I don't think gods are even possible. I've not I have not witnessed with the way that we understand everything works, even with quantum physics. Even there's no possibility or room for gods. And then I have fun with. I always see them. well, you guys are the ones that claim that the universe came from nothing in the Big Bang. And it's like, I don't know if you understand the difference between 0 and 1, or if I understand the difference between 0 and 1 better than you because I have a computer education. But there's a big difference between nothing and a singularity. Like, there's. And I'm not even super educated. I am a cable jockey. I'm a cable monkey. I am just a regular dude. I'm not, and it makes sense to me that there's no such thing as nothing. Why would nothing? I've never, you know, it. And then you look into how math got formed, and like they had a hard time with the concept of zero. It was not a thing that, that came up for a long time, you know. Yeah, they typically have like a sixth grade understanding of what is the Big Bang, or they watched a documentary once of Kent Hovind. Down, that guy's a goofball. I've already taken on his ire. I am not one of his favorite people because I like to tell people that he's not actually a doctor. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And if I remember, it goes, in the beginning there was nothing, and then God, right? That's their thing. That's their thing. I've never, and I maybe not eternal, right? But like, and maybe not infinite, maybe not eternal, but without a beginning, has always been as is, or if you take the math back far enough with the Big Bang, it goes to one, not zero. So that's something. That's not nothing. Simple, real easy stuff for the like, and yeah, I know that for a fact that if you take the, because the theories, most people don't even know this about the what's a theory or a fact is typically just a formula, and it's, you can test this yourself and make predictions based on these formulas, and that's what makes it real, and that's how we know it coincides with reality. It's not, it's science is a process, not not an ultimate. And then they go around and they're like, oh, they're they're indoctrinating the children. It's like, no, that's your gig. That's your gig. You have the doctrine. No, there's no atheist doctrine. There's no Antifa doctrine. There's just empathy. It's yeah. I can't. They're like, oh, you're a heathen. You're a demon. And I'll pray. Oh, the I'll pray for you. It's like, I mean, I take personal offense when they say, because I know what the fuck that means. It's like that's their secret way of saying you're going to hell. I'm already there because of you, fucking people. And I don't even mean that. Like, cause this ain't hell. I'm having a fucking blast. I'm having a grand old time. I don't know. Uh, it's not perfect. Life isn't exactly what I want, but I mean, I do not feel tormented. You know, uh, by the struggles of being alive, especially once you start developing community and realizing that we all got our struggles. We're all here. We should probably help each other with our struggles and then make it easier for everyone. And they're like, no, that's communism. And it's like, everything I do is bad, huh? You, they're like, sharing is caring, but don't do communism. It's just a theory, yeah. Sorry, the screen's far away from me, and I could watch it on my phone, but then that would be me inflating the numbers and whatnot. And I don't want to. I want to do all that. Keep it raw and real. And this is just what I can currently. I'm lucky to have this stuff. People help me get this stuff. So, uh, obviously the 180 subscribers, those guys, and you, brand new person, I'm grateful. Thank you. And that's another thing. They're like, you can't have gratuity without God. You can't have morals without God. I want to demonstrate them to be so fucking wrong. This because they're just so fucking wrong. One one second. I got this thing set to it's not made for kids, so I gotta do a thing here real quick. But yeah, it seems to me the people drawn to religion just want a justification for their desire to abuse others and subjugate others and exert control. And then you get into in God we trust is on all the money, and I think money was invented by involuntary celibate humans who needed to have some kind of security to offer people who didn't have it so that they could get them inside their house. And it's yeah, I don't like any of it. I don't think. And, so we were talking about victims, right? I'm a victim. Two times in my life, I've had SA attempted on me through means of coercion. I've had housing weaponized against me, and they try to tell me that I owe them physical affection for keeping me inside their house. And this is not an agreement that we made. Which if that was the agreement, then that's the it's not that's not an agreement I would make. You know, that is not a reason for which I would get involved with another human being. Is to yeah. So one time was that they tried to weaponize housing to make me do sex with them. And then another time was literally these two women tried to fucking hold me down. I overpowered them, but it's still an attempt. And I know, and I'm a 6'3", 220 pound man, and people think that they they have their thoughts, and facts are men are most often victims of that than women, and then when it is women, it's typically more violent for them, and that's like most of the man ones don't end in a homicide, and the women ones do, and that's not good. Like what the fuck? And it's and as I mentioned, I have a daughter. But even before that, I had a mom, and I didn't like my mom very much, but I still, you don't. I go by weight class. If someone's in my weight class, regardless of your gender, I'll fight you. that's that's because that's more of a determining factor than gender. Okay, for how hard someone hits and how effective of a fighter they might be. So so if you're in my weight class and you hit me first, don't just, I don't care what your gender is. I'm not gonna ask your pronouns before I start swinging back. I'm sorry. But also, I have a rule. Everyone gets one. Everyone gets one because I could take a punch. So I mean, if we have that kind of relationship where like you can knock me on the head a little bit without trying to cause me brain damage, we can vibe with that too. But we have to, we gotta feel that out. That's not gonna be our initiation. Although, if if you if if we are of a particular inebriation and we are like pound for pound, inch for inch the same, I open with a headbutt. We're gonna headbutt each other. We're just. I have a buddy, yeah, and just to see, just to see, just let's see what happens here. Let's do it. But the inebriation factor has to be quite, yeah. Hold on, I gotta read one second. Oh no, no man. Oh man. Um, Yeah, and then people like me, cause like I'll hang out with these fucking douchebags, and you don't know that they're these fucking douchebags until you go and say something like, women have autonomy, and you find out I don't want to be friends with anyone in this room right now. So yeah. Oh man, I'm sorry. And it do be like that, and they pretend that it doesn't exist, and I don't know. And then I get it too, because they'll try to perpetuate. They'll say, "Oh, it's always a lie. She wanted it. You see how she was dressed. She wouldn't." And it's compounded bullshit. It's just that's what that is. And then it boils. You keep going further with it. They're like, "Well, it was his wife. You can't do that to your what? Well, I mean, it's what happens in the house." And it's always religious people. Not always, but most of the time, it is religious people that want to assert dominion over animals and children. And when an atheist wants to do that, when an atheist wants to assert dominion over other people, it becomes very obvious, because you're not like, oh, that guy's got the demons. It's just how it be sometimes. It's like, no, that guy fucked up. We need to move him to the cul-de-sac with no other people on it, and get some security cameras up on the streets to make sure that if he's within outside 30 feet of his house, someone knows where he's at. that's, that's how let's destroy the prison industrial complex that way. We give them secluded, selective housing, you know. Not like a prison colony like Australia, because we see how that fucking turned out. Those people are nuts. No offense, it's a good fun kind of nuts, but they're fucking nuts. They'll box kangaroos just cause. That's weird. I don't know, like just cause they're there, and then all the koalas have fucking syphilis. You couldn't stop that a little bit, it's like, nah, they're cuter when their brain's fucking flat. I don't know. Yeah, well, good on you for identifying and breaking that cycle. Like seriously, because that's no that. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna fucking say anything genius or brand new here. That's not an excuse, but it is an explanation, and it is absolutely how that gets perpetuated. And I'm good on you, and I'm not talking to you personally, because I feel that from the way you talk and present yourself, that you're pretty conscious, So, but that people, so that like I was saying earlier, those douchebags pretend that the culture's not there, and then so then women do it, and then the guy's like, "Where were those teachers when I was a kid?" And it's like, dude, those are kids. It's like, yeah, but she's hot. It's like, but those are kids. I don't know. So yeah, they pretend like women are not able to take advantage of, and so a lot of times, and that's the opposite gender type. So a lot of times too, is I've noticed in my lifetime, from what I've witnessed, is that women will foster young children into sexualizing themselves as a way of life in a lot of cultures too, and that's fucking. I don't know. It's the how do you how do you go through that and then be like, that's what I want other girls to do? Like, I don't know. So that's, me as a man, I seen what men do amongst each other and stuff. So I like break apart from that and try not to. Yeah, I don't associate, because it's not all men. They're right. Well, it's not all men. You're right. It's not all. It's fucking definitely almost probably you though, and I don't want to hang out with you. Yeah. Oh, fucking released Epstein files, man. See, that's another thing that makes you a terrorist now. If you say if you say that Epstein shouldn't hang out with any presidents, or regardless of what party they're in. Apparently, that's terrorism. Yeah, yeah, right. I would hang out with a fucking bear too. I don't. Would you rather hang out with a guy? Would you rather run into the woods? You're in the woods, man. You run into the Sasquatch, the man, and the bear, and the man, bear, pig from South Park is there. And so, which one are you going to hang out with? I was like, well, I've hung out with a dude before. I don't really like South Park that much. So it really comes down to Sasquatch and the bear. And I feel like me and Sasquatch have more in common than needs to be talked about. So, what's up, bear? Like, that makes perfect fucking sense to me. I'm hanging out with a bear, too. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm terrified of bears because I've lived outside and I've heard bears going through dumpsters for the same food that I wanted, and it was like, but I should probably be quiet about that because that bear will fuck me up. So that's a grievance I never actually got to address, and so I harbor that with me, and now because I'm scared of bears. And even so, like not the human ones. Like if you go to the homosexual people community, the bears, they're funny. They love to laugh. They're like the affable. Affable is the word for the bears of the homosexual community. They are affable folks. I don't have. I got like, yeah. I don't know. I accept everyone, but everyone doesn't like me. So I have like maybe 8 friends in my whole life total. Maybe it's the MySpace brain. I don't, my top 8, and then I don't know. But that's where I'm at. Yeah. You know what? You could die having cuddled the bear. That's that's it's all about perspective. You could do that. You're that's autonomy. If you can't walk willfully into a bear's arms and cuddle it for your last moments on this earth, what can you do? What are you if that should be part of Canada's healthcare system, is because Canada's overridden with bears compared to the America. But so if you're Canadian and you have the right to walk and can you cuddle a bear to your own demise? Is that a possibility? Does your health insurance cover that? Chime in. I'd like to know. Or if you believe in any gods at all, if you just the possibility of them, if you think that gods are even slightly possible a little bit, please call this number. Let's have a conversation. I'd like to hear you out on what it is that makes you think gods are even possible, let alone likely, probable, and then definitely exist, and you have to just blow them daily, constantly, or you're going to a really bad place forever. Make Yeah, that's what you believe. Defend your beliefs here. I promise I'm not gonna make fun of you too hard. Kent Hovind, come whack an atheist. You know, I got I got my titties out for you. You can come whack this atheist, bro. So hey, since you're the one tuned in, are you familiar with Robert Sapolsky? I my life's goal is now to play Robert Sapolsky in a biopic. I'm going for that. I would like to play Robert Sapolsky in a biopic. I would I think I would do the character well. I would I would definitely like to get paid to hang out with Robert Sapolsky, and then to emulate what I've learned to be Robert Sapolsky. That would be, and then maybe I'd get to meet some monkeys, or that'd be sick. I could be the guy that meets Joe Young. Yeah. Oh, sure. I'll spell it out loud just to sound like I have something to talk about. Robert, common spelling. Sapolsky, Sapolsky. He does a podcast with his daughter. I think weekly or bi-weekly or something like I don't know. I should probably know that if I'm gonna play him. So I'll have to brush up on how often they do. So Sapolsky. Sapolsky. And I will oblige you here. Cool. It might be easier to copy paste, but I'm trying to create content and promote content that I agree with, and the responsibility. I don't know. The thing I want to happen is not happening, and I kind of figured that. I was like, there's no way there's going to be someone who actually believes gods are possible anywhere on this planet right now. There's no way. They're all faking it, and the joke's on us. So they they can. Oh wait, no, there's no joke there. So that they can do what they do. Um. So okay, I'm going to talk about this for a bit. Here's why I have enmity towards mild enmity towards the religious communities. Right, is as a homeless person, I've learned that they are not really helpful unless unless you're willing to join their particular congregation, most typically, and they the not necessarily the church itself, but the members of the church will uh, not nepotism, but they'll only hire from within and from recommendations from within their church, and give other people that are in their church a leg up without actually much scrutiny. Just the authentication being that you also think this dumb thing is real. And it's like, yeah. I'm just as bewildered as you are. All right, let's work together. Let's. so, uh, so, and then they do actual harm to the communities that they're in by not giving opportunities to people, which lead to them already probably impoverished people who need opportunities real bad to not. Then they gotta what? I gotta go to the church to eat some peanut butter? That's crazy. I gotta go to your church that doesn't. The people in this church do not allow me to work with that because I'm a felon or a demon or whatever reason they've created. They don't want to work with me. So because of these people, I have to go eat your potatoes and peanut butter. That's kind of wild. Like that seems abusive to me. And then, yeah. So I, it's a weird principled place to be that I don't wanna fuck with these churches. I don't wanna fuck with government because it just justifies what they do to people. It makes their existence necessary to rely on the person who creates the problems to solve these problems. I don't know. I'm gonna create skits and ads like what they did. That's great. I like. Hold on. I'm gonna see what else you're saying. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, I have not. Atheist. That's thank you for that. I don't know what that is. But Yeah, I don't think it's even possible. Hold on one second. I gotta do a thing. I gotta see a guy about a horse, I guess. One second, please. I shall return in just a moment. Almost. Thanks for being here. Please like the video. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. I know, but it says the number changes, so I don't know. Please consider subscribing. I will be right back. Enjoy the sounds of water. Yeah. Yeah, they'll lie about community assistance that they contribute. Um, and then they'll siphon the benefits to their congregation rather than actual community outreach. And so if you are of the mind that gods are possible, please feel free to call. I will answer. The lines are open. This is a very successful stream so far, in that not one human being on the entire planet seems to believe that gods are even possible. That's score one for the atheist team. I'm gonna keep this going for as long as I can. See if maybe I can get someone to call in and dispute whether gods are possible or not. But in the meantime, I'm gonna scroll my phone for a second here. Uh, let get active in the chat. Give me a call. Oh, now. All right, 1 second here. I gotta be. All right, do that. All right. No, ain't no freaking way, man. Ain't no freaking way, man. I lost my drink. I did not drink my drink. Oh, yeah. So. All right. So the chat has not erupted. We have not yet proven that gods are even possible, plausible, let alone undeniable facts of existence, the Almighty Creator. We've not even established if gods are possible um, outside of the human mind. And we do know that there are happy chemicals in the brain that particular activities and behaviors based on your particular upbringing and environment and community will bring you joy, happiness, and people base their prejudices based on what they're raised around and disciplined for. Right? And there's a reason why children have to go to Sunday school as well as Sunday services to have the idea hammered away even before they truly understand letters and numbers. Kind of a weird thing to do to children. And then to turn around in society after doing this to your children and accuse other people of indoctrinating children. What? with what doctrine? What's the doctrine by which? Because I can show you the doctrine that theists. There's multiple, sure, but each one has their own, and you can be like, well, that's the doctrine by which you were attempting to indoctrinate children. So feel free to call in and try to assert even the possibility of a God. I don't think anyone can do it. I think this is going to be the most successful atheist stream on YouTube ever, with no one ever calling in to even dispute that gods are possible, because they know that they're all lying hypocrites. You can't delude yourself with a God belief without somehow demonstrating hypocrisy or outright lying. That's the challenge for today, folks. Let's see what you got. It's nothing so far. Thanks for tuning in. My name is ComicBrandon. I am an atheist punk kid from the streets of Woonsocket, Rhode Island. I consider myself an anti-racist, I'm pretty much against everything because I'm for everything. You understand that? I don't like prejudice, bigotry. You know, and I try to address it right at its cutoff, right there, right, nip it at the bud. Let's get it dealt with right on its face. And I think a lot of bigotry and hatred begins with religion. Without lies, religion dies. I see. That's another thing. Is I am not in any way associated with any group of people. I am not an agent or getting paid for this. I'd like to. Please subscribe. Please send me money. I like to eat food. I like to live inside. I'm in a temporary arrangement currently, so help. You know, but if you can, if you're in a bad spot too, you know, I'll see you out there, and we'll go get some food together, one way or another, because we're gonna, you know, So yeah. Are gods even possible? I don't think that they are. Even a little bit. Please feel free to call in. If you disagree, we could talk about it. I'd like that. I'd like to talk about it. It'd be so cool if I could believe in a God and like an afterlife. Like there's more that I want that. Why I want that belief more than it. I'm not. So yeah, I'm not an agent. I'm not connected with any atheist organizations. The the humanists. I don't know. The Satanists. I don't have any affiliations. I am just one guy with no known associates, whatever that means to you. And I am here of the belief that gods are not even possible, and yet they should dictate my behaviors, and I don't think that's the case. Feel free to call in, shut me up, prove me wrong. This might be again the most successful atheist call-in show where not one single human being out of the 8 billion nearly or more than, I don't know where we're at, not one can call in and even argue the possibility of a God existing. Nah, it's all good. Yeah. No, we're good though. So, like, if I ever roll through Ohio, I'll steal from a Walmart for you. You got that. I'll get some whatever you eat. I don't even know what I like to cook for people. That's one of my love languages. You know what I mean? It's a thing I like to do. I like to cook for people. So if I'll slide through, I'll grab some ribeyes right off the rack, walk st- straight through the door, fry them up. We'll eat. Good luck getting them back. Walmart. And then Walmart, supposedly a Christian organization, right? So they want what is with okay. So Walmart, I don't know if they successfully did it or if they tried. But they tried to start a community of housing for their employees. Okay, and then they're in my experience, kind of weird with who they'll hire and who they'll promote, and if they're in charge of everything and not allowing mom and pop shops to even try to start up, where's all the startups gone? Where's all that? They usually fail within a year because you can't compete with freaking Amazon and Walmart. I'm not gonna show up at your house tomorrow with the thing you bought. I'm not gonna do that. Even if I could, I don't know. I wouldn't feel comfortable with the work I produced. And it's like, yeah, well, they're not doing the work. These aren't magic elves. I understand, but that's also contributing to slavery in other countries. And when you have all this unnecessary stuff, oh, but you exist in capitalism. You too. You're evil too. I don't think that's how that works. To use the tools that are available to you to try and change things. And it's like, oh, well, what's the solution? I don't know. So the point is, can you even slightly defend the possibility of a God? Can't anyone in this world who stumbles along this video and believes in the possibility even of any gods at all, chime in. The spaghetti monster is yet to be disproven, I believe. The flying spaghetti monster. Doug, Doug's real. I know Doug's real. God, maybe not, but Doug definitely for real. Oh, I'm sorry thanks for listening. Have a good nap. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. I'm gonna turn this off anyway because I don't think. I think so far we are the most successful atheist show on YouTube, where nobody's been able to even argue the possibility of a God. Thanks for watching. Please consider donating, Venmo and PayPal. I need money. I need an income. Subscribe. Love you.